What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kyle Pancis. If it's your first time tuning in, please be sure to smash that subscribe button. If not, thanks for your continued support. Be sure to check out all the merchandise listed below. We finally got my shop updated and linked down below. So if you guys want to shop some of the merchandise, some of the t-shirt designs that we have created, be sure to check it out. Support your boy over here. But today we're hopping back into this 2011 SAAB 9.5. We purchased it off Copart. If you guys haven't been watching the build so far, we've been making some really incredible progress. We've gotten everything diagnosed. We got our new intercooler in, which is what we're going to work on today. And that intercooler, which was cracked up front, was causing our check engine light, which was P1101, which has to do with the mass airflow sensor, which in this case, clearly there's a problem with the airflow, which is what's causing the sensor to fail and trigger the check engine light. So, not a big deal. We'll get in there. We're going to figure this out, get this installed today, clear the codes, and I suspect by the end of the video here, we'll have this thing running a lot better than what it has been in the driveway with that rough idle. So stay tuned, and if you guys like the content, please be sure to check out some of the other earlier videos. We've been making tremendous progress with the body work and the body repair. I won't show it in this video because I've done part 1 on the bumper, and there'll be a part 2. We're in between. I actually started filming that part 2, but I'm waiting for some paint to come in to finish that, just to give you guys a hint. And in the interim, we're just going to do the intercooler because that's arrived, and you know, clearly we need to get that situated before we reinstall the bumper anyways. So without further ado, let's hop into this video, and I'll give you guys a lowdown of how this whole front end is constructed, since I've already kind of figured it out by checking it out. So let's hop into it. All right, so before we get our hands dirty here and put things on a fast track forward, I might as well just give you guys a full rundown. You know, obviously the bumper is off. These headlights, which I've removed already, have 1, 2, 3, and 4 bolts holding that in place. But of course, in the front here, we have some Torx bits that hold these plastic covers on. It's like a bumper support. So it ties into this and it goes over there. And anyway, so I'm going to remove this out of the way because I'm going to need to remove the condenser a little bit to get the intercooler out. So we'll do it on this side as well. And once we get these out of the way, like this whole thing here should just also slide. So it's just an air duct. So just to give you guys an idea here, I already kind of pulled these out of their clips here, which is part of the intercooler. As you guys can see right there on the new one, this is here the intercooler, and this looks like it's an oil cooler of some sort, either for the transmission or it is for let's see, it looks like it's for the transmission, is what that looks like. So it's a transmission cooler line, apparently is what it looks like, but regardless, it's some sort of cooler for some sort of oil. Anyways, so I'm not gonna have to remove it. I'm just gonna have to slide it out of its slot because it's obviously attached inside of the intercooler. But to get to that first, I'm gonna have to remove the AC condenser, which appears to be just kind of clipped in over here to the radiator, kind of all one piece. So I'm gonna check that out. It doesn't look like there's any bolts that fasten this. It looks like everything, as you guys can see here, is just a clip, which is different from the old generation. Everything was screwed on together, but clips are fine. I guess it's a little cheaper for GM. And again, I'm not gonna have to remove the condenser, it looks like. I think I should just be able to slide everything out enough in order to just slide the intercooler down. And if I need to, I'll have to raise the car up to pull it down underneath the car. So I'll have to keep you posted on that. So that's kind of how this whole thing's structured. It's not too big of a deal. I think some of this will just take some patience and time working my way around, and we should be able to have that in there with no time. And luckily we got 1 and 2 pipes, and they look like the screws are pretty easy to access with the bumper off, so we'll be able to take that off pretty quickly. All right guys, so for starters, I'm just gonna remove this bracket here. That's for the bumper. That uses a T15. Not that big of a deal. Boom, off. And if I need to remove this bumper beam here, these look like they're 13 millimeters on the bolts and the nuts. So 2 nuts on each side, 2 bolts, and that should pull off as well. Not hard if I need to pull this out of the way. Maybe I will. All right guys, intercooler pipes are off. You got a plastic piping instead of rubber, so they use a metal track inside to connect the two. There's like a groove on each side, as you guys can see. See the groove? So that goes there, and then the strap goes over that to keep everything together. So we are ready to come out. I'm gonna just kind of make sure everything's unclipped here, over here, and over here is the other side. Just kind of push it and pull, and then that should come right out. All right guys, so we have I have everything ready to come out, but I need just a few inches of space. So I'm gonna remove this front bumper support frame out of the way. Should be easy here with a 13 millimeter socket and a 13 millimeter wrench. All right, boys, girls, there's our busted intercooler. And we're gonna just go ahead. I can probably like plastic weld this back and salvage this. But for now, we're just gonna go ahead and install the new one. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and install this new this new intercooler. Goes in like this.
Slide, slide, slippery slide.
All right, guys, so everything is back in place. I'm just gonna go ahead and reattach these hoses for the inlets, and then we'll just kind of quickly reassemble everything. Before I reassemble, I will start the car and test it out. Okay, start her up. Give it a test, boys. Oh yeah. Running good. How's that turbo gauge look? Yeah, it's not bouncing around anymore. That's good. Give it a little rev. Cool, that's good. All right, guys. There's your test for the intercooler. We're looking pretty solid. All right, guys, so update before I put this thing back together now. I I don't know if you guys noticed it on the camera, but there's this frame piece, this aluminum piece, which kind of sits underneath the radiator right there. From the accident, that thing had cracked, but I had managed to just drill some holes through it, and I slid it back a little bit further than what it would naturally sit as. But all it needs to do is kind of just support the radiator and keep it kind of leveled, which is what it's doing, and that shouldn't really go anywhere unless there's an impact again. So if you guys look down in here, I put both the screws back into place. One, I just kind of like drilled a groove so the frame thing can slide in between the bolt and the subframe, and then the other side I just put a little metal piece in between the radiator support and the bolt there, so when I screwed that bolt down, at least it's got a piece of action holding it all in place. So that thing's solid on there, so everything's back together in place. We tested the electric start because it wasn't working with the engine light on, so now it is working because I cleared the code. So here it is. I guess you gotta hit the lock twice. Oh, the hood's open. That helps. If I close that, let me get my phone out of here. All right, so close the hood, lock twice, hold down the start. There we go, guys. And the air conditioning is working nicely. I just, turned it on in there. It's nice and cold. Nothing to complain about here, guys. And just hit the power start button. You guys can see there's no more engine light. Just got that low tire pressure. Still leaking air there. But air conditioning's cold. We got an auto climate on. If I clear out all of that, we're all set. All right, so we'll do a quick time lapse, put the frame back on. We're not doing the bumper yet because we still got to finish that with the paint, but at least we get everything back together. Another successful day with the SAAB 9.5. Alright guys, so a couple days later here, car is no lights. We got no more lights on the car, except for a leaky tire still. For some reason, can't seem to get it to stop, but let's see what happens. Let's take this thing around the block real quick. Alright guys, look at this thing on the road here. Turbo is running nice. Car is pretty smooth, quiet. The tires are definitely going to be replaced. I got rusty rotors. Oh, there we go. Nice and powerful. Holy smokes! Thing's got some torque. That is awesome. Wow. Huh. Nice riding car. No lights and full power. What more can you ask for, guys? Alright guys, so be sure to check out the merch below. Shop the new merch. We got this thing Pancified, man. Get Pancified by checking out the Pancified shirts below. Pretty freaking sweet, guys. Some of you guys have dropped some pretty funny comments when we launched this car, so I kind of took the lead on making some merch. So get Pancified, since we're pancifying this car. If you guys like this video, please give it a like, share it, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And in the next video here, guys, I'm hoping to have this front bumper put back on the car finally. I'm still waiting for the paint to arrive so we can finish that part 2 of the bumper repair. But in the meantime, be sure to check out all of the videos below or above from the whole build here, and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for staying tuned and enjoying this content as much as I'm enjoying it. See ya.